Family, welcome, Astro family, to another Hardwood and Astroturf talk show. Peoples, we got a nice episode set up for you today. The main topic for today is Luka Magic. We're going to talk about Luka and his performances over the last month. He's been blazing. We're also going to talk about some weird scenarios in the Nets and why Ben Simmons is not playing. We got it lined up. Of course, we got to go over our predictions, and that's the first thing we're going to hit. But as always, before we start, you know what to do. Hit that like button and subscribe to the channel because we appreciate your support. So, without any further talk, let me get right into it. As always, housekeeping. Right on. How you doing, my brother?
Doing good, man. I can't complain. Just looking forward to talk about some Luka, man. Luka's been going on a tear. Uh, the Nets have been having some turmoil, as you mentioned. A little bit
Yeah.
weird, and they just going down and down and down. Had a tough game already for the day against the Celtics, so excited to talk about that.
Nice, nice. Um, Folks, Hakim is off today. He got to study for some exams, so hopefully we can have Hakim back as soon as possible.
Yeah,
Good luck in your exams,
yeah.
Hakim.
Wishing
Hope
Hakim all
that
the
you
best.
put in the work
Yeah,
and
man.
you get out the results that you want for sure. So
Yes, sir.
let me get right into it, people. The predictions last week. It was some close back and forth throughout the week with the predictions that we had. But let me start off with Heats versus Chicago Bulls. Now, myself and Raybon, we chose the Heat.
Yep.
Hakim and Cody chose the Bulls. To me, I thought Heat was just a better team all around,
Yeah.
physically and defensively as well.
hmm
So that's why I went with Heat, and it showed. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, like it was just like they had their full team available for this game. The Bulls have been barely surviving on DeMar DeRozan's heroics for the for the past couple of weeks. Truthfully, and he has he started laid down. Uh, Zach
Yeah,
LaVine has been there, but the Bulls too haven't been healthy all season. They've been missing Caruso for a long time and Lonzo for a long time too. So I would and the Heat playing great basketball. Them is the number one seed in the East. Like a lot of people ain't getting the credit that they deserve. And they was playing at home and they had all the guys and they was healthy and I couldn't see how I could see how they could lose it off of maybe Demar going off or something like that, but the way that the
yeah,
Heat has been constructed from the number one player all the way down to the 10th player, just balling out of the mind, truthfully, really and truly, and it's a balanced playing field. So if the star player don't contribute, somebody on the bench can contribute. Like it's such a the most I can say is a good team, like a well constructed team,
yeah.
a well balanced team.
And I remember that last week you were adamant on the point that DeMar DeRozan's been carrying the Bulls, and
Yeah.
I thought that it was just a situation where he's been performing and like he's an asset to the Bulls, not that he's been dragging them up to
hmm
victory. So I guess that game last week
hmm
kind of went like it skewed to what you were saying more than what I was thinking,
Yeah.
and it shows.
Yeah,
It
man.
showed. So you and I, we both won points for that one. But the
Yeah.
second one, which was
This.
the more interesting game, Mavs versus Golden State. I went based on history and everything, and I chose Golden State to win this one. But you were all about don't sleep on Luka.
Don't
Mavs playing
sleep.
some great basketball. All
Exactly.
like that. I think for you guys who don't know, myself and Cody, we chose Golden State, and Hakim and Raybon chose Mavericks. So
Yeah.
tell us about that game. It was a good game.
That was a great game. Luka was just cooking for the whole game. The man had like 26 points at the half. Uh, I don't know, man. They couldn't really do anything to stop him. They had Steph on him at one point. I was like, uh, you don't really want Steph on Luka right now. Where was
Yeah,
All Star starter Andrew Wiggins nowhere to be found. Jordan Poole was actually playing pretty decent, but
I expected more from
eh,
Andrew, but
yeah.
that Mavs defense was all over Golden
Uh,
State.
as a Timberwolves fan, I know that Andrew Wiggins too well. Up, down, here one time, there another. Very
Mhm.
inconsistent, and him, who he is has not changed since he's left the Timberwolves. It's just his circumstances has, and no, he's finding himself back in a circumstance where he's being expected to be a better player than I guess he truly is, and he's not delivering as people would expect. So
Yeah.
all for the last maybe for the last whole month, he's been struggling. Um, but this Mav team has really elevated, especially since the Kristaps trade, and we can talk about that a little bit as we talk about Luka and the team on the whole. But it,
Yeah.
it it's tough to count them out anything, and I remember speaking to you guys about how they are my dark horse team to make it to the the Western Conference Finals, and y'all laugh at
Mhm.
me. Y'all laugh at me.
But it's
So
but it's a dark horse team,
uh,
so it's not like
what is like the
some
Mavs?
things have to be in place in order for them to make it to the top based on who we got. Hey, I think that they're playing really good
Hmm.
basketball. Even in that game, I think Golden State had a good comeback. The
Hmm.
scores were tight at
Yeah,
one point.
yeah, it was
I
close.
think it was was it in the fourth quarter
Yeah, the
early or
fourth
was it
quarter,
late?
the fourth quarter on the whole was just a close. It was a seesaw battle
Yeah,
with the teams.
yeah.
So it was a
I I
it's
believe Miles
competitive.
just was a better team
Yeah.
in the clutch moments.
Hmm.
Like they did what they had to do.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure Golden State only got up because Luka was out,
Yeah.
and as Luka came back in, he just
Yeah.
dominated again. Like he was
Correct.
doing all game. Like Miles like destroyed Golden State in the first quarter as
Yeah, they
well.
did.
Like it was crazy. So kudos, man. Good pick.
Yeah.
I can't really argue with that at all. At all, at all. So last and final one, we had the Cavs versus 76ers. Now, this one was a scare. I don't know about you or the other
Boy.
guys. I was, when I started watching, I was scared, man.
Yeah. Look.
'Cause I know all of us chose 76ers.
Yeah.
We thought Harden and Joel was going to be the thing. And that first quarter, boy,
Look.
I
The
don't know.
first half, because the Cavs were at like double-digit points, and it was like,
Yeah.
what is going on here? There was at almost 20 at the half. I was like, huh? This ain't making any sense. What the hell going on? When I look, Embiid was there, barely there. He wasn't really making a big of an impact. Neither was James Harden, really. But in the
Yeah.
second half, they really flipped it over and come up with the main. Embiid didn't end up with a big score total at the end of the game. But sometimes
Yeah.
when you
It was
got
a rough night for Joel.
yeah, and that's how you would expect the Cavs to play against Embiid, given that they have like some big guys, to really give him a challenge. But
Yeah.
truthfully, Embiid didn't need to.
Jared Allen showed that. Like he showed that he was all over the paint
Hmm. Hmm.
when he had to be. So he was doing his part definitely. He didn't really have a lot of challenges. I saw him get like a handful of free dunks
Hmm.
in the paint,
Yeah,
but
but
like uncontested.
yeah,
So
that's the Darius Garland effect because the last time they played, Darius Garland wasn't playing, and they didn't even stand a chance. But this time, once Darius Garland is playing on the Cavs, their offense, their everything is just so much better. He is like the key to their
mhm.
team, really and truly. Uh, so
I didn't really see Levert on the court though.
the
I don't
Vert
know
wasn't
if
there.
he actually
Nah,
played.
nah, nah. He didn't play.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he played.
I can't remember what was
Is
his
he injured
issue.
or something? Or
I ain't sure what it is specifically, but I know that he's out for some
okay,
time.
okay, I see. I see. Yeah, but that one was a scare, like
Yeah.
you say. James Harden and Joel turn it around. We got to talk about Maxi as well. Maxi did a very good
Yes.
job. You know, his energy is really
Correct.
high, and he helped bring that team up to par in terms of energy and focus and
Yeah.
where they needed to go in
Yeah, it
order
was
to get
him.
that win. And in order for me to get that
Yeah,
final
it's true.
prediction,
Cause
otherwise,
it was like, look at how all the weekend looks stupid. A whole lineup right now we can see on the prediction
yeah,
and results. I was like, oh boy, look how I
correct.
can't believe the Sixers are this far behind. But again, Maxi and James Harden truthfully really pulled it out in the second half for the victory.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. So without people's, this is what his scorecards looking like. Got Ray Vaughan getting a clean sweep last
Yes, yes,
week
yes, yes,
after
yes,
the
yes.
previous week being took
After
the
they get
garbage and now
destroyed,
bring it
after they
back.
punch me in my belly, after they done eat some good food, after they can't be in scruffy, they couldn't wait to talk about my name. But the Candy
Yo,
predictions is back on top.
full
Remember that.
turnaround for your boy Ray. Yo, 3-0. I couldn't believe it. But he's back on top with 22 points. trailing closely behind is Cody and myself, of course, with 21 points. We just got one prediction wrong this week, and that cost me that point. Otherwise, we'll be neck and neck. But I come in, man.
I,
I
I see it coming
oh,
up.
I'm not gonna say anything. Anyways, and then we got Hakeem in last position with
Let me
16. He, he learned. Yes, he learned.
He's coming up too, man.
But
But you gotta remember that Hakeem started a little later than, well, a lot later than
But you
us.
gotta remember too that Hakim capitalized on the time that he had during Christmas break.
Yeah, well, yeah, he had the double
He got a
points.
lot of points. He
Yeah,
was pretty close to me.
hmm
It's just that he had a couple of off predictions, and
yeah.
you know that seems to be the trend in a sense. But he got told the trend this week, so he couldn't be any. No, 66% into bad.
Ain't too bad, man.
Yeah, it ain't too bad at all. So yeah, that's it for our predictions this from last week. We're gonna get to our predictions later on in the show, closer to the end for this week. But let's dive right into talking about the hiccups at the Nets and KD's return. Like he came back, he performed really well, but there was some hiccups with the trade of Ben Simmons not being able to play. Tell us about that, man.
Well, I don't know if it matter hiccups, isn't it? Hiccups with the trade specifically, but just with the result of it, you got Ben
Mhm.
Simmons. Me personally, I'm one of the persons who felt as though the Nets probably got the better of the deal, but the results haven't shown because one, KD only played his second game today. Um, Kyrie still isn't able to play all the games. Ben
Mhm.
Simmons is supposed to be coming back, but according to everybody else, and I think that it might be true, he's avoiding this game next week where they have to play the Sixers because he don't want to face the crowd, or he don't want to face the Sixers, or he don't want to face the other guys. He don't want to face that competition, because I feel
Yeah,
like the guys can hand it to him if they get to play him anytime soon. Uh,
yeah.
that's my personal feelings, but the real reason is that apparently he's still dealing with his mental issues, mental health issues, etc., etc., and he's going through the ramp up period, but he's not going to be ready by that time. And I feel like the more time that he stays out, the more the lesser the chances of him getting into form in order to help the team to get to the postseason. Right now, after the game today, the Nets are under 500, so they got one more loss than win, and I think they're
Mhm.
eighth in the standings or something like that. This team that was projected to be the
Mhm.
number one seed to go to the finals. Like this is one of the most critical junctures in the season, and they gotta find a way to get it out. KD come back playing like out of his mind. 31 points, 37 today, two L's. It didn't make a difference. Two L's.
Yeah.
So it's
I mean,
sad to see,
I
man.
I, I think I think he just picked up where he left off, and it sounds like Ben Simmons is a wimp from what you're saying. Like, if he trying
For
to
lack of a
shun the crowd and whatnot, like if in my opinion, a true competitor would go out there and be like, you know what, I can come out here, I can try to dominate
mhm,
this 76ers team and show them, prove to them what I'm capable of, what I'm made of, and prove to them that they actually lost a great player.
mhm,
But not saying that this is what it is,
mhm.
but it sounds or seems like he's trying to find his way out of that situation,
Yeah,
and then he might probably play afterwards. I
yeah.
mean, if he plays afterwards, I won't be surprised at all.
Yeah, but
But come on,
I
man.
mean, but he can't go back. He can't go back to March 10th after it passed, so he ain't got no choice but to play afterwards. So
I
I
right,
know what
but
you
I mean,
mean.
like
Yeah,
directly
yeah,
afterwards. Like,
correct.
if he played the next game after that,
Yeah,
then
I
obviously,
don't think that
all
would
right,
happen though because that
there's
would
no
get
way.
that would seem real skeptical.
Yeah, yeah. But hey, it's Ben Simmons, man. I
Yeah,
don't know. That's Hakeem Bey. Hakeem the only one with the Lakers. So, I mean, I don't know, man. If it was me though, I would go there and try to prove a point. But obviously,
but
there might be something else. Who
yeah,
knows?
yeah. We don't know. We just speculating, but I don't feel like the speculations are unreasonable, given the whole fiasco that was him saying out, not wanting to play, not wanting to be with the team. Not wanting to
Mhm.
face anybody really. They didn't want anybody to come and talk to him, etc.,
Yeah,
etc. They didn't want to play. Truthfully, I can understand because that's one of the most fearsome crowds, the Sixers crowd, not want to play. Uh, essentially playing at home but playing against the crowd because everything he come with, he probably get booed, regardless if he was on the team or not. And you don't know he gonna see a
Yeah,
different team, he can get booed even more. So
especially if 76ers like playing home
yeah,
or whatever. Yeah.
and then on top of that, you still gotta come out there and have a good game. If you don't have a
Still
good
gotta
game,
perform.
it can just get worse. So
It can get worse. You still gotta perform.
exactly,
And if you're supposed to be an asset to the team and you can't perform under pressure like that, as let's say Nets get because right now Nets turning into a dark horse for the Eastern Finals.
at the
So
heart.
so so like if let's say hypothetically if Nets get to the situation where they're at the Eastern Finals, how is he going to perform if
Yeah,
he can't handle
the pressure.
normal? Yeah, like
Yeah,
this is crazy. And then Nets also got the issue with Kyrie
exactly.
availability still.
They think about Curry. Curry don't care, really actually. So I don't think he might. I don't think he care about pressure. But hopefully, in the next couple of weeks or so, we got to see Kyrie playing both home games and away games. But it seemed to be a really difficult. Well, I read an article about the Mirror talking about him really wanting to see Kyrie play, but obviously he can't set that precedent and just let's let be Kyrie that get through to play. It gotta be something that happen. I
Yeah,
guess in the favor of the masses, because next thing you know, he ain't gonna be the mayor no more. Because that would involve a lot of scrutiny on what's not. If somebody
yeah,
being
for sure.
favored because he's a sports player, yada yada yada,
Yeah,
etc. etc. So I guess over time, in the next couple of weeks or so, once they, I guess, ease some of the mandates that they have out there, we should see Kyrie on the court full time. But it's just a whole mess in the Nets and KD is not a player that's carry everybody. He still need another player there. He's not like a lot of people is like um I guess kind of overlook how LeBron is able to carry teams. Like not everybody could do that. Truthfully,
yeah, yeah, correct.
uh, and it's hard to do. So
For sure, for sure.
all the best to the Nets. I really love to
I
see
was
them
just
come
gonna
up.
say, I
Yeah,
wish them luck.
because they got
Yeah,
on paper they got a good team, but it's just to actually get the paper to the present to the court and see how
yeah.
how it goes. So I looking forward to that, but it's a mess right now.
Yep. Anything with Nets people in terms of predictions, you already know where to go until your boy Raymond says it. He says where to vote for the Nets
Ooh,
because he at the top of the leaderboard. So I can give him that power
oh,
for this
again
week.
some praise
Um,
today.
yeah, for sure, for sure. So let me dive into to Luka. Luka playing out of his mind,
Luka,
crazy,
man.
crazy. 30 plus points on average over the last month, voted player of the month for February.
Yep,
Let's talk about Luka.
Luka, man. The funny thing about it is Luka started the season kind of pedestrian. It was like he was averaging 25 points, but it just didn't feel like Luka was being Luka. And since there was a lot of talking about how he wasn't physically ready for the season, he enjoyed himself a little bit too much in the off season. His coach even come out publicly and spoke about it and what's not, and Luka responded to the criticism and the I guess and the tough talk, I would say, for lack of a better word. Uh, Glad to see that he responded to it,
Scrutiny.
and yeah, the scrutiny, a good word, the scrutiny that everybody was putting on him, really, even though he was still averaging 24 points a game, bear that in mind. So he came out as the New Year turn, just a totally rejuvenated player. But after playing a couple games, he would kind of get into game shape over time. But I feel that he himself has placed a more emphasis on trying to be ready for the postseason, trying to ready to get into the season. Trying to do better. You understand? He himself spoke about it and said, well, he played so much basketball after last season because he was in the Olympics, etc., etc. Like he
Yeah.
just took the time to relax, but realizing that that's probably not the best. That was not the best approach, etc., etc. And
Relax too much.
yeah, become self-aware and self-accepting enough to say, yo, I gotta do X, Y, Z, and it's really paying off in his performance over the past couple of weeks. Player of the month for last
Yeah.
month, along with DeMar DeRozan, and if you in the conversation with DeMar DeRozan from last month, then you're a good company, boy, for real.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
Uh,
Because we talked about Demar last week, I believe.
yeah, we talked about him last week. I
Oh,
know
he's still
this week is
playing good
Luka.
basketball.
It's
So
true. It's very
yeah,
true, and good to see the Mavs on a whole just elevating. Because me personally, I was skeptical about the the hiring of Jason Kidd and its impact on the team. I wasn't really sure how it was going to go. Um, Chris Stapps was also part of that too, but I just had a feeling like this would have been some change, some newness, etc. Would have provide a pathway to them being a little bit better than we think that they would have been. Ironically, me, I had in mind that Chris Stotts would have been a part of that, but ever since Chris Stotts got traded, the Mavs have been exceptional. Uh, Clearly, he didn't really make a difference to the team being better or worse, really and
he was
truly.
probably slowing down the team.
Yeah, maybe even, maybe
Probably. Yeah, who
even.
knows?
I don't
Or
know.
Luka had to turn up because he was gone now and he probably couldn't depend on Kristaps in the paint
Yeah,
too
like
much. So
he himself said it wasn't working, so uh, I mean, he would have to know why. Uh, I mean, I guess that's just an indictment on Chris Stotts himself. But it is what it is. But I just lost my train of thought a bit. Uh, Luca, Luca again. Luca was, as I say, has been on a tear. He's been averaging 34 points, 10 rebounds, and 7 assists over the last 10 games, and he had like two 40-point games in the last week or so. Uh, he's been crushing the LA teams. I don't know. He seems to go a vendetta against the Clippers. Like I'm pretty sure he averaging like 30 something points against the Clippers alone, or almost 40, really and truly. But when he sees that team, he goes into beast mode. Uh, but I don't know, man. It's just sensational. Uh, he's a talent. I think he's going to be the future of the NBA, really and truly, in terms of the face of the NBA. He's still
okay,
on the 25, having leading a team, being a heliocentric player. When I say that, I mean like a person that the whole team essentially revolves around. Like right now, he doesn't have I could say like a second fiddle. Like how Chris Stotts was there was supposed to be his second
yeah.
fiddle, but the team is essentially centered around him, and he just
So he
excels in
carried
that
him
role.
out.
Yeah,
So
yeah, exactly. He's essentially there. He box that team, man, like all the time.
but you
They
know
go
what I
where he
like
goes.
about Mavs is that with Luka, because of the energy he pours out on the court,
Hmm.
his teammates feed off of that and
Yeah,
also support really well.
yeah,
And I see that in Mavericks gameplay. So that's pretty cool to see. That
yeah,
even though like he's carrying the team, at least he's able to bring up the rest of the players with
yeah,
him.
yeah. He
So,
plays with a lot
so
of
that's
joy.
good.
He's one
Yeah,
player
for
that is
sure.
like if it's going and it's going good, he is always, even when it's not going good, he's always smiling, always having fun. Like that's one of the biggest things that I hear him say a lot. Like he just trying to have fun, playing together. He loves to play, etc. And it shows on the court. The only thing that gets kind of overbearing with him is him quarreling with the refs all the time. Like I had to see it truthfully, and he addressed it
Yeah.
himself. Like even Jason Kidd talking to him about it. Like spoke about it publicly. He got someone down talking to the refs so much. Uh, but I guess that's just his passion for the game, etc. etc. But still something he got control, and he can only go up from here, and up from here is is like one of the
It's
greats of all
crazy.
time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Up from 40
Yeah.
every night. That's nah, that's wild, bro. That's wild.
And
But
on top of
we'll
that,
see if he can keep it. Yeah, go
yeah,
ahead.
on top of that, almost 10 assists a night, almost seven assists over this last 10 games, almost eight, almost nine. Like every aspect of the game, he just impacts. And to
Mhm.
mention also over the this year, like last year, he had a defensive rating of like 111 points, which is not that great.
Yeah.
But no, this year the team itself has improved dramatically on defense. I would say, kudos to Jason Kidd, I would say, and he's now having a a defensive rating of 105 for the season, which is a 105 compared to 111. I mean, it's a pretty noisy thing because they got so many things that can impact it, like team performance,
Right,
etc., etc. Who you on the court with at the
right.
time, etc., etc. But I feel like the eye test, he's been a lot more engaged on defense and trying a lot
Mhm.
more. And I heard him say it himself. He's trying to be more intentional on that side of the floor. You know,
Right.
so it's good to see
And
it
that would
coming up.
definitely round up his game to a complete
Yeah,
package. Because if he could bring up that defense,
yeah,
like I don't know, Miles would definitely be a team to be reckoned with
yeah,
for
for
sure.
sure, for sure.
And
There
that
are
dark
no.
horse can start to get a little light.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
hey,
Trying to tell
hey,
unicorn.
look out for Miles, boy. Look out for Miles. Like I said earlier, I actually thought that from the history between Miles and Golden
Hmm.
State would have edged them out. But hey, I gotta give credit. You've been paying attention.
Yeah,
You've been looking
man.
at your boy Luka, and Luka came out on top. Well, I should say Miles, but hey, we already know who was the person really um, performing out of the mind in order to bring Miles to the victory.
True.
Um, Let me talk about Zion. We heard some news about Zion Williamson coming back to the Pelicans after that serious injury that he had. He's been out for a long time. People talking about him being on the couch getting fat
Yeah.
and fit and stuff like that. So,
Ah,
what are your thoughts about that
one
situation? When
ton.
talking about yeah,
I think that they didn't come up with him one ton. It's so ridiculous.
Watson.
Even the own people in his state in New Orleans. I saw this video with some people that make a float with them had on one ton. Ever since that point, I've been going viral. One ton to Zion. But I find it quite weird that he's coming back to play. It just feel like he was absent for so long. Nobody ever got an update on what's really going on with him. If he X amount of weeks old, or if they did, they say that then you hear nothing. You ain't got no update. Like it's just such a whole mess and a whole. It's so weird. Like
Yeah,
and then he had to
and his
let.
questions too on like how he would affect the team dynamic when he comes back as
Yeah,
well.
I just find it so weird, and it had to take CJ McCollum essentially calling him out, saying like, I just got traded here, and I ain't gonna speak to you, and you know that I've been traded here. Like, it had to take that for him to pick up the phone and call his new teammate. Like, you died disconnected from your team. Like,
Hmm.
really, like you still on a contract though, so unless you're asking, no, like, why not? You supposed to be the face of the team, etc., etc. Like, do better, man. Um,
Was he even like showing up at home games
I
or
no, I
anything like
wasn't
that?
even seeing him like at the beginning of the season. Yes, I was seeing him in some wild outfits. The man had on like a
You know
Naruto
the
outfit
NBA.
or something like that. Like leave that for my little cousin or my little brother or somebody to do that. Not you a big man in a Naruto
Yeah,
outfit. Come
but
on, Zion.
he's still fairly young, I
Yeah, he's
guess.
yeah
So
fair, but
Naruto, right?
that's so cheesy. But anyway, uh, he yeah like I just think that the situation there just seemed super weird. Zion not Zion not making it any less weird, and right now they got a decent team on paper, truthfully. So if he comes back, who knows? They might knock out someone for
A
any
team
playing
that
seed.
a team. Wait, it was them that beat the Suns.
Yeah, it was them
Was it?
that beat the Suns.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
uh,
Team that beat the
last
Suns.
week or week before.
Yeah, about 8 days a week. Yeah.
Yeah, about then. And CJ McCollum been playing out of his mind really and truly since he got there. Uh, Brandon Ingram been playing good. A lot of people have been playing good for them. I think they got like the number one offense since the All Star break. Uh, number one in net rating, so they've been beating teams bad. Truthfully, they've been
Yeah,
blowing out
yeah,
teams. Uh, so it's interesting to see, given that they were so sucky at the beginning of the season, see how a little change could flip the script. And I
yeah.
think this adding Zion just going to could blow that out the park. Truthfully, if he's ready and going to be playing, to who we know Zion could be on the court. So excited to see how it turns out, even though it's been a lot weird, not even a little bit.
Yeah. Any other topics you got to talk about this week?
Um, well, I guess we can mention Jason Tatum having a 54-point game just now, a couple of
Oh,
minutes
yeah,
ago. Like he
scoring
was
scoring almost half the points for the team.
like, oh my god, man, what can you do with this man? Like, if
And
I,
in fact, that kid, he scored 37
yeah,
points, which is still great.
yeah,
Like coming back like starting back from where he left off, really. Well, I should say continuing from where he left off, still scoring plus 30 plus points for the Nets, carrying the Nets as much as he can on his back, and then to have somebody else come and hit 54 points to just undermine 37. So now
yeah,
37 is like a museum
yeah, exactly,
numbers. Like really,
exactly.
37, KD. That's all you could do after. That's
And
crazy though.
I saw a clip of Kid just shaking his head after the loss. It was just like, ah boy, he come back and pour his guts and soul into the game and still end up with an
Yeah.
L after these two games. But you gotta get the team right. The team gotta get some time to mesh. A lot of new players, etc., etc.
Mhm.
Kyrie not being there all the time is not a positive factor, truthfully. Even though he at least going to be there, but it's sad.
How
But
has those players been gelling though? Seth and who else got traded? Well, we
Drummond,
know Ben is out.
yeah.
Yeah, Drummond. How has those guys
Yeah,
been
they
gelling with
seem they
your
seem
opinion?
okay. I can say that they need Drummond long term because of his size, rebounding, etc. Being a real center, he got a decent passer
Mhm.
too. But they seem to be okay. But with everything, it takes a little bit of time. For some people, it might happen in an instant. For some other teams, it might happen. It might take some more
Like
time. And
Pelicans.
yeah, yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
So just gotta get him more time. But talking about the Celtics
but how
truly.
much more
mm,
time them need though?
I don't know,
That's a
man.
question.
They need to get everybody playing. I think that's it. And everybody ain't
Yeah,
playing or ain't playing consistently.
and
Ain't
everybody know
Kyrie.
who everybody
Yeah,
is.
yeah, exactly. So they
Yeah,
just need some. They ain't much time left because they only got like maybe like less than 20 games in the season for all the teams. So they gotta find a way to make
mhm.
it happen pretty soon because the postseason around the corner.
Looking like an
The,
early summer or a
it,
miracle.
it's true, but a quick
One of the
one.
two.
A quick one on the Celtics. They haven't stopped yet, boy. For the turn of the year, they've just been going, 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 going. And every team that they face, they're just licking them out the park. Jason Tatum playing out his mind. And it's funny that just a couple months ago, they were like, "Oh, should we break up Jason Tatum and Jalen Brown?" Blah blah blah, yada yada yada. And look at this. Look at
Was
this
it
now.
Hakim that mentioned something like that, or did he like misspoke when he
Um,
was talking when we were talking about trades? I think he had mentioned like to get rid of Jalen Brown, and he was like, "No,
nah,
why would you get
yeah,
rid
exactly.
of Jalen Brown
Yeah.
when he and Tatum is a good fit on that
Exactly.
team?"
I remember speaking to him and I telling him, well, you could do anything
Yeah,
else around them, but just leave those two guys. Wait, but you got two guys that good on offense and defense on the same team that young under 25 and under. Like, why would you want to break that out? Like, break out everybody else if you want, but not those guys, man.
right,
So it's good to see their
yeah.
come up. And as I told in the last week, they can make some noise in the playoffs because one of them top 14s might get beat by the Celtics. So watch out for that.
But it the Bulls, who
Could be the
knows?
Bulls.
Yeah. Um, for our predictions for this week, we got some fairly decent predictions to go. You will have to be following the NBA to see how these teams have been playing, like find out how their form is in terms of win loss, who they've been playing, because that could affect your predictions as well. But I want you guys to join us in predicting for this week. First one we got up is Jazz versus Mavs. Do you have Hakim's picks
Yes,
pulled
I do.
up?
Well, I don't have them pulled up, but I have his
Okay,
picks um, for the for this week coming.
we can start with Hakim every single time because there's no explanation, but we can just make mention of his picks to see where he's at,
So,
and then we could get into our picks.
yeah. So the first matchup is tomorrow, the Jazz versus the Mavs.
Yeah,
Hakim's pick is the Mavericks. How about you, Hansel?
wait,
What are you thinking?
where's this game playing?
Ah, the Mavs.
All right, Mavs. I can go with Mavs. I mean, like we just had a whole discussion on the Magic.
hmm
well, I should say the magician, Luka. So I go with the Mavs. Mavs playing good. Luka's leading the team very well. The team is feeding off of his energy.
Yeah,
Um, I don't think that they're going to stop anytime soon.
yeah.
I think that they have enough to go on a decent run. Probably like an 8 game plus streak or so if they continue this gameplay. Talking about gameplay, if they
I got you.
continue their yeah their play. So what would you have as
I
a
gotta
mom?
go with the Mavs again. Playing exceptional. I would say though, I a little bit tempted to think about a scenario where the Jazz win this because they've been playing pretty good since Donovan Mitchell has come back. Um, they got blown up by the said Pelicans though, so that's what got me thinking.
Yeah,
That's what got me thinking. I know, but their next opponent, I think they
but
play today.
Pelicans playing good because Pelicans mash up Suns. So I mean, you might gotta give the
Yeah,
credit to
to the
Pelicans
Pelicans.
rather
True,
than
true,
say
true.
that Jazz was off.
Yeah, the Jazz got a game today too, so they might be a little bit tired for that Mavericks game. So gotta go with the Mavs.
That's fair. That's fair. Next one is Phoenix Suns versus Miami Heat. The pot is going to be hot.
hmm
Um, been cooking outside, it seems.
Well,
What
I,
team got in this one?
he would have picked the Heat. Yeah, he got the Heat to win this
Nice
one.
pick.
Yeah, nice
I
pick
don't know
because
why. I don't know why he chose Heat,
well,
but
I think it's
I
as
would have
simple
gone
as
Heat
this.
too.
Yeah, like simple as this. The Phoenix Suns. Uh, I don't know if Devin Booker or Chris Paul coming back anytime soon. It should still be a good game though because the Suns have been playing good without them, really and truly. Well, not good, rather decent without them.
Not
Um,
better,
yeah,
but they've been holding their own.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, let's say that
Um,
much.
it should still be a fun game. It's still a fun matchup. Uh, two of the top seeds in each conferences. You can't miss that game. Truthfully, yeah, I think that's pretty much the reason why. Those guys, the Heat should have all their guys back up. So by
Mhm.
by that game, so it can either be a blow to the Heat or the remnants of the full some teams can find a way to gut out some sort of gritty win. I don't think it might be that way, but I put my money on the Heat to take advantage, and it's a home game for them also.
Nice. And last but not least, we got the reunion of James Harden and the Nets. Only thing is, James Harden is going to be going against his former teammates. KD is going to go head to head with James Harden. James Harden got a lot of help. KD don't got that much. I don't even gotta ask anybody else who they're going with. It should be a 76ers pick all across the board, but hey, just for the fun of it, who you got right now?
I go in with the Sixers here. I feel like this is going to be this is a game of the week, really and truly. Like the Nets and the Sixers, what would make this so much better would be if Ben Simmons was playing. This was,
That's what it seems. That,
Ben,
if everybody had everybody and everybody come
yes,
together and play,
this would be.
like we would have definitely see what which team would be better
hmm
um in that showdown. And to be honest, man, it's a little bit disappointing to not see the potential that these teams could have brought to the forefront in this matchup. But
Yeah.
hey, it is what it is.
Well, that's not on the Sixers part. That's only on the Nets part, really and truly. So
I am blaming the body, but
yeah,
hey, you know,
but
look, it would have been good for basketball.
yeah,
That's
fair
all.
enough. This I feel like this game will still have a playoff atmosphere, really and truly. I know MB can be talking the whole game. I feel like Durant might drop 40. He might still lose though because you still got Embiid and Harden
Yeah,
to deal with. Kyrie can
Durant
be able
might
to
carry
play in
them.
this game because they can be a away game for the Nets. So this should be so much fun. I can't wait for this game today. I gotta watch this game from start to finish
Sure.
for sure. But the Sixers on my end, Hakeem would have picked Sixers also. So what is your pick, Hans?
I already see
Oh,
Sixers.
Sixers. Okay, okay, okay. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah. You right, you right. You ain't got that other. You ain't really
Sixers
got that
playing
option.
home. Yeah, exactly. Sixers playing home. They got a healthy team. They got Maxi, Harden and Joel healthy. So it's a no-brainer for me at this point.
Fair
So yeah,
enough.
like you were saying, KD got to drop a bomb
Yeah.
in order
Even with the
to bring
bomb,
in
he
Nets.
might still not win because he got two bombs on the other side. Two is greater than one. That's all gonna be the story. So this looking like a week where everybody agreeing with the same thing. I ain't like that, man. I ain't like that.
Well, you I don't know if you want to put in like a little shake up matchup
um,
to
what we
if you
could
don't have
do
any
is we could find out we could make a bet on one of them and see we could try to guess what would be
numbers,
the margin
scores.
of victory.
All right, so we got any ranges on this margin so that people could get like extra points or what's not, or are
Um,
we gonna
we could do 5 points or less, 10 points, uh, ten
let me do
less than
five
10 points,
15 20
5, 15, 20.
or
I feel like
well
15 is a
then again
stretch. I think we could do 5, 10,
really
15. I mean,
all right cool
I feel it's a little bit rare that um any of these things. Well, the one that I think that might more go that could go really bad. It might be the Phoenix at Heat. But outside of that, I think these games gonna be pretty close. But I guess that's my thought. So we
yeah
could do 5, 15. We could do 5 to
I
15,
got some
20.
Sixers to win by between the range of 10 and 15 points. I feel that they're going to do that good against the Brooklyn Nets. That's just how I feel.
All right. Uh, I feel that this game can be really close. So I can see 5 points or less.
All right, so 0 to 5 points,
Yeah.
and then we got to figure out from the other guys
Yeah.
what their range is going to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, I honestly I don't see nobody on Nets really stopping Joel like that. So
Correct. Because he's
I
cut.
I don't know where that 0 to 5 point range come from. I feel like Joel can go. So that's why I went a little bit higher than usual. But we
I feel like it can be a close game. I feel like both teams are going to want to have to a point to prove, and when you got talents like KD and Kyrie on the same team, they could erupt at any moment. So regardless of that, I picked the Sixers to win. Kyrie and KD can have 40 each. Easy to. The might NBA, regardless of how much of a defense these Sixers play, Kyrie could cook you. KD could cook you however much defense you play. So I feel they can be a close one
that's fair.
for
That's fair.
real.
So yeah, we are gonna have to find out from the other guys what their range is gonna be on this one if they want extra points.
Yeah.
But don't forget, people's F1 is coming up. This is 1 week closer, so that means we got 2 more Sundays before we could talk about the first race for 2022 in the F1 season slash championship. People's, it is going to be fireworks all year round. So first race at Bahrain, people's don't miss out on it. Follow up on some news, see what the teams are doing. You already know that the favorites are Max Verstappen and Lewis for an insane battle, but because of the technology, don't forget Lando Norris, Charles Leclerc, maybe Daniel Ricciardo and Carlos Sainz could be in there as well. We got some exciting racing to look forward to, so please keep abreast of that because Hasbros are going to tackle it in 2 weeks' time. So, with that said, thank you so much for joining us this week. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. I definitely did enjoy my time hanging out with you, my brother.
Yes,
Well,
sir.
don't forget, peoples, like this video, subscribe to this channel, share some of this stuff with your friends if you know that they like basketball and like to see what people think about some of these games or some of these players within the league and where like who's going to make it to the end. We will actually have to revisit some of those teams that we said were going to make it to the Eastern Conference Finals and the Western
We
Conference
could do a
Finals.
segment on
So
that coming up, man. We could do a segment on
yeah,
it.
yeah, definitely do that. Also follow us on Instagram at Hastro Bros. We definitely post some stuff over there. So yeah, just keep connected. We appreciate you. Anything from you, Raymond?
Oh, this enjoy the stream again. Thanks for everybody that came out to watch it. Hope to see you at the next one.
Yeah. Anyways, that's it for Hastro Bros family. So we'll see you later. Peace.
Peace.